We're live. We're here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Bruce here, Traveling with Bruce. Welcome to my show today. Welcome to another week. Monday, February the 4th is today's date. How are you? 2019. Let me add that. What a day. I've been kind of busy, kind of like a little bit. I've had a few things going on this last few days. But I got to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good about how things are going along. I'm getting a lot of amazing comments from people everywhere about a lot of subjects, but including one particular subject. It is a video I posted about 11 days ago now. It's incredible. 11 days ago, I posted the video. Now, today, I'm getting all kinds of reactions. So today, I'm going to address any and all comments from anyone about it. More than happy to do that. I don't know if anyone is watching me from any of these areas where I commented on the cruise business. I was talking about, on the video I'm talking about, it's called the 10 worst or the 10 most dangerous cruise ports and what cruise lines are doing about it. Basically, it covered 10 locations where it's kind of dangerous for you to just kind of wander off on your own. You're best to stay in a group with a group cruise, that type of thing. And the cruise lines, to combat this problem, depending on where this is, they have built and are building private resorts, private islands, private getaways. Disney has Castaway Cay, Princess has Princess Cay, Royal Caribbean built Coco Cay and is expanding it. I mean, on goes the list. The list goes on and on and on and on. There's Carnival is doing it, Holland America, Norwegian, MSC is building their own private island. It's just being opened now, apparently. So the cruise lines, they figured it out. They know what to do. They have 387 cruise ships out there that look after passengers from around the world. And damned if these guys are going to be taking passengers to a dangerous place on purpose. They're not going to do that. They're going to take passengers to where they know they're not going to be, messed with by any ne'er-do-wells in any way, shape, or form. And unfortunately, a number of countries have had issues, and cruise lines have had to take action. And so there's private getaways, even in Roatan, and more planned. And there's talk now about private resorts in Mexico, especially on the Pacific side. There are probably already private resorts on the Atlantic side, the Gulf of Mexico side. There's also talk about private resorts in Asia, in certain spots, just to enhance the experience for the cruise passenger, to give them this 1 or 2 or 3 day complete getaway from reality, the pressures of the real world. Take them to an oasis, I guess is the word I'm looking for. The term is oasis. To take them to an oasis to completely unwind and be pampered by the professional staff through the cruise line. And if I were a cruise line operator, man, I would be happy if I could take my passengers to a port where they're just going to be looked after and treated like royalty, because I would brag to all my potential customers out there in my marketing material. We go to this place, and we'll take you to this place, and you will be given the star treatment. And there are places in the world where cruise passengers love to go and get off the ship and enjoy the local communities. There are a ton of them. They're everywhere. But then there are the other side. And this is the problem. If your country is on that other side, and then someone talks about it, you don't like it. That's what happens when you mention. They don't like being number one. They don't want to be number 2. They want to be number 3. They don't want to be number 10. They don't want to be on the list because it's just bad for business. And I get it. It is bad for business. And my upbringing, I have a term that I remember from the 80s, maybe the 90s. That because I'm old. I mean, I'm 63. I'm ancient. But there's a term called a dope slap. Did you ever get one of those when you were a kid? My mom used to be famous for those. You'd be going off on a tangent and you'd get that dope slap to get you back to reality. And maybe my video is one of those. I don't know. I'm not trying to cause a ruckus. I'm trying to inform my followers as to what the heck is going on out there. Because number one, I am not paid by anyone to do this. There are people out there who've been commenting on my channel going, this guy's being paid to slam countries. I'm going, really? You think the quality of my videos are professional? No one would pay for the kind of work I do. There's no way. I'm not a spokesman for a cruise line. I'm not involved with any government agency. I am not involved in any kind of tourism board or anything like that. No, I'm a guy who loves cruise ships, loves going on holidays, loves the people of the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, the United States, Canada, Mexico. I used to live in the Cayman Islands. I know what it's like living on an island. I know how what's the word I'm looking for here? When you live on an island, okay, you're surrounded by water, and your local press is all you got. Everything that's talked about locally is a big deal because it's the water cooler talk around the office. And every little thing is a heightened national story because if the entire nation is a small little island, what do you expect? And so you find that when you leave your island, you fly to Miami for a weekend to do some shopping, you realize that no one's talking about your country when you get there because it doesn't matter. The Cayman Islands, where I lived, nice place. One of the safest places you can go, by the way, on a cruise, I guess, but nice place. But off the island, it doesn't get a lot of press. The only press the Cayman Islands was getting when I was on the island was the comparison to the movie The Firm. So when I'd say to someone, they say, well, where do you live? Oh, I live in the Cayman Islands. Oh, the Tom Hanks movie with those gangsters and all that money laundering. Yeah, that's their impression of the Cayman. And I kind of go, you don't research it, you'll never know. I loved living there. But we on the island, as a quote former islander, little stories around the island were big stories on the island. They were just the rumors and everything else, and we didn't like criticism either. Canada doesn't like being criticized. The United States doesn't like being criticized. Russia doesn't like it. No one likes it, and so there you go. But hey, I made a video. And I'm happy to stand by my video, top 10 places or 10 places that are dangerous for cruise ship passengers. I haven't got a problem defending it. The stats kind of bear me out. Plus, the U.S. State Department has kind of come to my aid without them knowing anything about it. I made a video on Friday about it. The U.S. State Department, the Government of Canada, they have put out level 2 advisories to a number of the countries that I mentioned in the video. They've given up to a level 4 advisory for certain places in Mexico. Shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody out there. And there you have it. There are places you can go where you must be on your toes. You should be aware of your surroundings. And if you're busy taking selfies of yourself and you're wearing your finest rings and your lovely jewelry and you're not paying attention in essentially practically a third world environment, you are asking for an unpleasant experience because there are people out there who are desperate to get by and make it and survive. And they see an easy mark. What do you expect? It's just the way it is. Anyway, that's just my thought on that. More than happy to address the video. If anyone has any comments, thoughts, concerns, by all means. Apparently, I'm a hit. I am a news story in the Bahamas. The Nassau papers and the national press, even in St. Lucia, they picked up a story about my video causing a stir in the Caribbean. And, I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you're watching. Have I been getting reactions? I got to say, though, I get way more positive reactions than negative reactions. I'm getting way more thumbs ups about my video than thumbs downs about my video. It has been overwhelmingly positive, but there are those who do not like being singled out because maybe they have an interest in tourism, or it's national pride. I get it. Or it's complete blindness. The blinders are on. They have no idea what the outside world perceives of their country, their area, and they're just not listening to the stories. And I have been getting unbelievable stories from people telling me their experiences in some of these nations in the Caribbean, which, by the way, I love. Pardon me. Cheers, everybody. Pardon me. My caffeine-free Diet Cola just to keep me going. I've been getting heartbreaking stories and terrible stories, just upsetting stories of people who were really given a rough time in various sports throughout the years, and it just kind of, you know, reaffirms what I've been reading elsewhere. What I'm quoting in my video is so widely available. Anyone with a computer, go to Google, enter dangerous cruise sports, enter, boom, you'll find articles everywhere about it for the last 15 years. This is hardly a new phenomenon, but oh my, this particular video has caught a bit of traction, and even the Minister of Tourism in the Bahamas has reacted to traveling with Bruce. Sorry, there are problems out there, and I'm just telling you what's going on because I am not filtered. I am not a spokesman for a cruise line. I have nothing on the line with regards to not being able to bring my cruise ship into the port. I'm not a hotel operator. I'm not a PR guy. I am an independent creator living in Creston, British Columbia, here in Canada. Love to talk about cruising and cruise ships, and I don't have to hold back. And so some of my viewers love me for it because they say, hey, you get to tell it like it is. Well, here's what I see, and here's what I'm commenting on. If we disagree, it's all good. It's okay. We're allowed to disagree. It's quite all right. But unfortunately, perception might be reality for a lot of people out there. And the perception of certain spots in the Caribbean aren't the way they are. Couple of facts that are true. The Caribbean is the #1 cruise market for cruise lines. I believe it's 34% of all passengers that go on cruises go to the Caribbean. That's a huge chunk. Alaska, Mediterranean, Europe, and then Australia and Asia make up the others. But Caribbean by itself, 34% of all cruises are taken there. Miami and Port Canaveral and Port Everglades and Tampa, these are ports that a lot of the cruises go from. Of course, Galveston, New Orleans, obviously. And the big three, we're talking Carnival, which owns Princess, Holland America, Cunard, Costa Lines, P&O. They have a pile of ships that are using, going into the Caribbean. Then there's Royal Caribbean with Celebrity as their secondary line. They are big players in the Caribbean. And then there's Norwegian with their ships, and not to forget MSC and Viking Cruises and Disney. They're all there. All of these lines have access to private islands to take their clientele to ports, places during the daytime where they can, the passenger can relax and just enjoy themselves sitting on the beach, sunning themselves and doing nothing. Now, I get criticism for people who say, well, the problem is that these passengers, they get off these ships and they just sit at these beaches. They don't enjoy the local culture. You're right. They don't enjoy the local culture. Absolutely good point, because that's not what they're there for. They're trying to get away from their stress back home where they're working and handling all their life problems and issues, and they're looking for a break. And if it's a 3-day, 4-day getaway, they haven't got time for cultural experiences. It's a 4-day cruise. They're trying to unwind and want to eat a little bit too much, maybe drink a little bit too much, maybe party a little bit too much, and then during the daytime, veg out on a lounger. And if it can be done on the ship, fine. If it can be done on the beach, fine. But don't put me in a place where I have to watch every 15 seconds someone walking past my lounger that might be here stealing my wife's purse or begging for a handout. Or that's not what I'm here for, because otherwise these folks would have gone to an all-inclusive resort in Dominican Republic, in Cancun or wherever, and just vegged there. But they chose a cruise. The cruise offered them a private island getaway or two or whatever the number is, and they took advantage of it. For those who are on a 1 week, 10-day, 12-day cruise, yeah, you can get some local culture in. You got time. You've got time to do that. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with getting some local culture. What is wrong with going to San Juan, Puerto Rico and taking the tour of the fort or the old town or getting around to Golfin or wherever you're going? What's wrong with going to Cayman Islands and enjoying the island for what it's got? What's wrong with Mexican tours? What's wrong with Bahamian tours? Nothing is wrong with them. But what is wrong is if you're thinking of either just going off a ship in certain countries and looking for the local bar to hang out in and just get a couple of drinks there. Well, if you're nearby the ship, you're probably going to be all right. But if you're going into the heart of town, you're now in a place where you stand out like a are you ever not from around here? And it all depends on the mood of the crowd. You're totally at the mercy of who's there. And the cruise line can't save you. No one can save you. You're on your own. And hey, one word taken the wrong way can make things go awfully bad. Or one turn, taking a shortcut back to the port, going through an alleyway, that could be a mistake. It's a mistake for a local. It can be a mistake for a visitor. I get that comment all the time. I agree with it. You can get in trouble in Miami, Philadelphia, Chicago, St. Louis, New York, Boston, LA. You can get into trouble anywhere in the US. You can get into trouble anywhere in Canada. But common sense is what it's about. But I'm talking about cruise ports for cruise passengers on my video, and that's where I went with it. Anyway, I'm going to react right now. Just look at any comments that are coming in and say hi to people. And if anyone has any comments about this, by all means, let's see what's going on. Linda Lou is here. Edward Kane. Vivian is here. We're all back. Thank you, guys. Dwayne's here. Who else is here today? Sylvan Forrest. He's telling it's 73 degrees in Delray Beach. Sunny, very nice. He's got a cigar, rum and coke in hand. Fantastic. He's saying thumbs ups, everybody. I watched Sea Scammers on YouTube and had a good laugh. Never did like them. Dwayne, so the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism doesn't share TWB's assessment of the criminal element there. I guess so. What can I say? Linda Lou, oh, what a beautiful temperature, Sylvan. Nice temperature for you. Vivian is in the UK. Welcome, my dear. Who else is here? Kelly Haston is here, 64 in Pensacola and cloudy. Who else is coming or saying hi to me today? Denise McCracken, hello, TWB crew, 59 degrees right now in Pittsburgh. Or Philadelphia, excuse me, Philly. Glenn Edinburgh from Brisbane, Australia. How are you, sir? Hi, Bruce. 32 Celsius here in Brisbane. There's a lot of homes that were inundated by a flood in Queensland. Not good. Denise McCracken, Pennsylvania, for whatever she's saying. So tweeting. I can't post a link here. Do Google search. If you want to see these articles, that have been written about me, go to my Facebook page, Traveling with Bruce. I've reposted them all there. You can check them all out, see what everyone's saying about me and my channel. Interesting. Let's see here. What's going on here? Glenn, wondering if there's any news about the Queensland, Australia floods. I've seen nothing, but then I've been preoccupied with my cruise work, so forgive me. I can't personally tell you anything, Glenn. Who else is here? Tom Henry. Hi, everybody, and Traveling with Bruce, a 64 in Richmond. That's a heat wave over there. Tom Henry saying hi. Who else have we got here? I got to get through everybody. Just pardon me as I kind of swerve up. Tracy Dunlop is here. Hi, Tracy. 73 in Naples right now. Welcome back to my show. She's telling me your channel's growing nicely. Thank you so much. It is. Let's see here. Sylvan, dinner tonight. Beer, battered cod with Belgian fries, and fresh fruit salad. The mango tree across the street should bloom soon. May is mango season here. Oh man, he's killing me with this stuff. Fantastic. Who else is here? Fatima McCoy. Hi, Bruce and everybody. Hi, Fatima. Edward Kane, American Cruise Line commercial. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Who else is here? I'm just quickly going through the small chat to get to my comments, if any, on this story. Fatima, I don't want to go to an island where I'm being hassled and have to worry about my safety. I want someplace where it's going to be safe and fun and clean. Glenn, these private islands sound and look spectacular. Would love to see if we're getting in the Pacific off the east coast of Australia. Would be kind of neat to add them there. I agree. Paul Wilgus is here. Hi, Paul Wilgus. Desi Wagner from Chicago. How are you? Welcome back. Who else is here? Wendy Thompson. Did anyone see the BC Lawyers ad on TV? Stan, I don't know what's going on there. Never mind. Wasn't that a boring Super Bowl game? It was exciting in a way, but boring in a way. It was like a chess game, and I hate watching chess from the sidelines. I really do. I love action, but I hear you. MG Toe is here. Oh my gosh, MG Toe. Hi, everybody. I thought I'd drop in to see if Bruce has stopped begging for money as of yet. MG, how have you been? Where have you been? I'm not sure if we're happy he's here, but hey, MG, you know, you're here. I've never blocked you. Interesting. We've had some very interesting comments about my channel elsewhere lately, and that's been most interesting too. But what can I say? I'm a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, MG is saying he's a person non grata in the Bahamas. There's a contract out on him. Oh my goodness. Kelly, hey, glad to see you here, MG. Glenn, Edinburgh, let's hope you can get a sponsor so you can get some good revenue. Well, we'll see what happens. One day at a time, one video at a time, one subscriber at a time. Let's see here. Who else is saying hi to me? Oh, MG has really gone nasty. MG has really gone nasty on us. What can I say? Maybe we now know where it's coming from. Joseph Kilpatrick, cruise ship nurse on board. Thank you. Welcome, my dear. Welcome back, Joseph. I'm so glad you're here. Bonnie is here. Welcome, my dear Bonnie. Vivian. And So Tweety is here. Fantastic. Cool Jazz. Bruce managed to piss off an entire country. No other YouTuber can claim that. Way to go, buddy. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. Let's see here. It's amazing how many Bahamians have agreed with me on what I've been saying. So many. It's incredible. What can I say? What else is here? I rarely go ashore, Sylvan is saying, in ports of call. The ship is the destination for me. Exception to the rule is the Grand Cayman. Stay clear of the Bahamas, Bruce, unless you're on the private island. There you are. Debbie Manuel is here. How are you, Debbie? Welcome back from Chico, California. Hi, Sylvia. Hope you had a great weekend. Sylvia is here from North Carolina. Welcome, my dear. Let's see here. Let's see here. Who else is here? Oh, look at that. I got a donation. Let me continue forward here. MG Toe, all excited. Is like he says, don't have to ship. Lisa Knox, they don't know how anxious it can feel. They don't know how anxious it can feel getting off the ship in Nassau. And all these men are in your way as you try to walk, throwing out offers. Hope you'll agree. Lisa Knox, good comment. Really good point. I've been getting a lot of these kinds of comments on my channel, on that video in particular, on my other video that I did with regard to the U.S. and Canada governments warning cruise passengers about certain spots in the Bahamas. You're absolutely right. Let's see here. Linda Lou, hi there. Bonnie, I love the destinations, but generally only go on shore when excursions are through the cruise line. Anthony Casper, hello, Bruce. Great to see your channel growing. Hi, everybody. Gas is about $2.25 a gallon by me. Temperature is 47 degrees. What is that? Massage Envy started your show today. Massage Envy or message Massage Envy. Yeah, I hear you. Sherry, Awesome Sunsets. Hi, Bruce. Hi, everybody. Hi there. Welcome back. Glad you are here too. Jose, hi. Did you know what type of repairs updates has been done on the Norwegian Sky? I don't know, Jose, off the top of my head. I'd be wondering if Tom Henry might know. Tom Henry is a huge Norwegian fan. I'm going to suggest, though, that the Sky, I believe, went in for just regular, what's the word I'm looking for? Dry dock. A regular dry dock would have been like a 2-week dry dock, unless it was longer. If it's a 2-week dry dock, it's just freshen up, new carpeting, paint, replace old dishwashers with new dishwashers, probably. Maybe some refrigeration units in the kitchens will be upgraded. Equipment that wears out will be upgraded. That's what that's for. Of course, any engine room work, any air conditioning work, electrical system work, they'll do that. They might change out some of the restaurants and refresh them. They probably did all the mattresses, perhaps some of the furniture in all the suites. They might have changed out all the televisions, maybe not. That type of thing. Every 5 years, that's what it's meant to be for. Freshen up that ship and make it look nice and clean and pretty, and keep her going for another 5 years and let it make money. That's what it's all about. Let's see here. Dwayne is saying, I just take a cab for excursions. It's a heap load cheaper than overpriced cruise excursions. You know, a lot of passengers on board, if they come as a couple, they'll have dinner maybe with, say, 6 people at dinner time in the main dining room. You get to know others. You may find another couple that kind of share your interest or have been to a port before, like a year or two ago. And they may say to you, "Oh, you want to go to so and so? Oh, wow, we go here because it's just fantastic." Well, they team up, and the 4 of them grab a cab and they share it, and they get an outing together, and it's a great old time. Great way to keep the costs down and enjoy the island. What can I say? Let's see here. Dwayne, never mind. Glenn, I'm looking forward to our new cruise port terminal in Brisbane, Australia. It'll be able to take all large ships from all the cruise companies. Will save us having to fly to Sydney. That's going to be great, Glenn, because you can get on the ship there. That will be fantastic. That's why, of course, Brisbane is going to do it. Makes a lot of sense. And of course, it'll take some of the heat off of Sydney, which needs help because Sydney is overrun with the demands for port facilities. Sydney is at maximum capacity right now. So there you go. Bonnie Burson, haven't been to Nassau in many years, but I was in Eleuthera last year to Princess Keys. Tom Henry, let's see here. Nurse Nancy's here. Hello. Hi, Nurse Nancy. Vivian Clark Nicholson. Hi there. Let's see. Who else? Trevor Benjamin. What's wrong with SKN? I don't know. What is SKN? Please tell me. Let's see here. Desi Wagner. Hi, Nurse Nancy. Let's see what's going on. Sylvan, I once got accosted by a ruffian in Venezuela by a guy who told me he wanted my watch. I answered, "No, you don't. I will put you in the hospital before you realize I am a sumo wrestler." Thankfully, Sylvan, you can take care of yourself. Not everyone's in that position, I guess. Colleen Goldstein is saying hi. Ted B is here. Let's see who else is here. Tina Daniels. I am from Delray too. Hi, Tina. Welcome to the show. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Let's see here. Art Parker from Ivor, Virginia. Welcome, Art, to the show. I'm glad you're here too. All kinds of newbies. If you're new, please come by and say hi to me. Let me know where you're watching me from. What's your high temperature today? What's the price of gas in your neighborhood? We love comparing that. Did you get an ad before my show came on? Let me know who's advertising to you. Who else is here? Continue through here. Yeah, MG. I can't read some of these comments. They're just not. They're not. They're kind of edgy. Yes, Nurse Nancy saying hi. Thank you for everybody for welcoming her here. Bonnie, hi, Bruce. Lake Fort Worth, Florida. Lake Worth, Florida. Same as Sylvan and Delray Beach. It's very nice here. Dwayne, Victoria saying 3 below Celsius. He's saying. Nurse Nancy, we're much warmer here in Wisconsin. Rainy and 40s. All snow has melted away. Fantastic. It's our Fenwick Life. Hello, Robert here. How you doing, buddy? Ed Tolson, hello from New York. Ed, welcome to the show. Jeff Sume from Seattle. Hi, Bruce. It's 28 in Seattle with snow. It's cruise weather in Seattle. Absolutely. Time to get the heck out of town. That's what it is. Iskew Park. Hi, Bruce. It's Iskew and Thunder Bay. 27 below Celsius here. Ice crystals. Cold as a witch's you-know-what. A witch's brew. No, that's not it. It's cold. It's just cold. Unbelievable. Who else is here? Sherry Awesome Sunsets is saying hi to everybody. Benwick Life is saying hi to everybody. True Jenny Sue is here. Hi there. How are you? Dwayne, like I said, Bahamas Ministry of Tourism is holding him hostage. Yeah. Who else is here? Oh, Bonnie Bergstein. Thank you so much. Bonnie is sending me a super chat. Thank you, Bonnie. You're too kind and generous. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Who else is saying hi to me here? Debbie Manuel. Everyone's saying hi to kind of everybody else. Elaine Schropsphere. I'm so proud of Bruce. Elaine, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. Mark Dirksen. Hey, just found your channel live for the first time. I like your vids. Thank you, Mark, so much. Thank you for joining me. Let me know where you're watching from. Where are you? Great to have you. Anybody have questions, fire away. I have some news that I'll get to. Just want to catch up with you guys and make sure I'm not missing anything about this topic that I want to address first today. Mark is saying, I'm going on a Jewel of the Seas in a week, 5-night. I've never been on a smaller ship. Can you tell me more about it? Jewel of the Seas, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to have a promenade deck. That's one thing you're going to enjoy. These big brand new ships, they don't necessarily have the old traditional promenade deck where you can walk around the whole perimeter of the ship. I love that about these ships. Check out the spa. You're on a Norwegian ship. Check out the spa the first day you get there. Take a tour. And you may want to buy a spa package if you haven't already got one. And you'll get access, an adult-only access for the entire cruise, where you can use the steam room, the jacuzzis in the male side. Then they have the co-ed side with the loungers. You want to check this out. You're going to love it. And I want to report on how was it. Let me know, buddy. Linda Lou went on Island Princess through Panama Canal. Nurse Nancy, Rob, it's our Fenwick left. I know how each of you balance each other out in your marriage. Your videos are so much fun to watch. MG, it's about time people talked about what's really going on in the Caribbean. There are dangerous places to go. Stay on board the ship. Let's see. So Twitty, I did corral through it. Linda Lou, amazing cruise. Dwayne, never mind. Cruel Jazz. Tom Henry, did you see The Escape yesterday? It's on a 14-day trip. Kelly Aston, that sounds great. Sylvia, Bonnie, I didn't know you were going on the CWW group cruise. Wish you could go. Let's see here. Nurse Nancy and Fenwick are trading compliments. Fantastic. Everyone is having a good time. Let's go through here. Roland Tucker, keep up the good honest work, Bruce. Thank you, Roland. I appreciate that. And Charabelle, hi Bruce, 60 here in Cleveland, Ohio. No coach today. I paid $1.99 for gas in Cleveland. That's incredible. The warmth in Cleveland and $1.99. That's a good deal. Way to go, Ann. Let's see here. Who else is coming through? Just going through here. Sorry for these pauses, but I'm just kind of going through the comments to make sure I'm up with everybody here. Everyone seems to be here right now. I'm good to go. All right. Thank you for joining me. News of the day. I have a couple of pieces of news to talk about today. The first one is travel insurance. This topic keeps coming up, and it's going to keep coming up because there are now countries that now, before you can get in, you have to have proof of travel medical insurance. Otherwise, you cannot get into the countries. This is for travelers by air, by cruise, land, whether it's expats who get a job in these countries, or whether you're a student studying, or whether you're just a tourist. The story goes that right now, out of the 26 countries in Europe that are part of the EU and independent countries, 15 now require proof of insurance before you can get in. It's getting more and more interesting all the time. Iceland, Switzerland, Norway, they want a proof of insurance. Cuba, Ecuador, Qatar, Russia, Turkey, UAE, they are looking for a proof of insurance. Egypt is introducing mandatory compulsory insurance. Thailand now debating the same topic. And this is a big topic in countries because of the fact that people will come in, tourists will come in, millions of them, and a certain percentage of them sprain their ankle, cut themselves accidentally, hurt themselves, suffer a heart attack, whatever the issue, and they end up in a hospital. Whether they have insurance or not, they end up in a hospital. Some do have insurance or are covered, others don't. And they pay a deposit to get in, and then they're discharged. They get the bill going out the door, and they never pay it, and they leave the country and leave the bill behind. And we're talking not $500. We're talking thousands, tens of thousands or more. And a bunch of these countries are saying enough is enough. We've got these so-called first worlders coming in here, these people from first world countries, and they haven't got insurance to pay for an emergency. And we're left holding the bag because we can't collect from these people. They went back to where they came from. We can't collect. Now, I'm not talking about North Americans being the bad guys. I'm talking about travelers, period, around the world. So countries are getting more and more aggressive. I have a feeling that within 5 to 10 years, you're not going anywhere to any country unless you can prove that you have medical insurance. And frankly, why would you travel to a different country without it? Now, Canadians like to think that their Canadian insurance is insurance that we have covers you in the States. It doesn't. You have to buy supplemental insurance, but it's easy to get. Americans, same thing. Coming into Canada, you can buy supplemental insurance in the U.S. to come into Canada, piece of cake. You can buy insurance from Alliance on an annual basis and travel anytime you want, anywhere you want, and you've got coverage from the beginning to the end, from like medical evacuation insurance, air ambulance or anything like that, even off a cruise ship, to hospital stays, hotel coverage, all that kind of stuff. But it's these other countries, for instance, say someone from Portugal traveling to Italy, getting sick in Italy. What happens there? Well, there may or may not be a reciprocal arrangement between these countries. In many cases, there isn't. And in the case of Thailand, as I was just mentioning, Thailand is just going, hey, we can't afford to have 20, 50, 100,000 people a year. However many millions come here. There are millions who come here, but we have thousands of people a year end up in hospital here because they fall down and trip and they hurt their knee. They bang their elbow. They break their arm. They dislocate their shoulder. They have a heart attack. We are paying an unbelievable price to our hospital system to look after people who don't pay taxes here, who don't support this country. They're just visiting. And if we can't get reimbursed, we're out the kind of money we can't replace, and we're not as rich as other nations. And so proof of insurance is going to be needed. I have maintained, and I think this is a great idea. I really believe that cruise lines that offer cruises internationally, and that would be every cruise out of the USA is an international cruise. I think it's mandatory that it should be built into your cruise automatically, everyone. And it's not even it's already part of the fare. You don't see it. It's just there. If it's $20 for the trip, $100 a passenger for the trip, I don't care how much it is. It's automatically added to your fare. You don't even know you're paying it. But boy, are you glad when you do need hospital care in Jamaica or Mexico or Costa Rica, and they say, have you got insurance to cover this expected $20,000 bill? You do have it because you were a passenger on the so-and-so ship and it was built in. If it's all built in, everyone pays the same. The cruise lines don't have to compete with each other for that deal. They can't. One cruise line can't say, oh, it's only $5.99 on our cruise line, and the other cruise line says it's $6.99 because one has insurance and one doesn't. No, it should be mandatory that everyone includes it automatically built in, and that way there's no games. And the cruise line has this protection for themselves that if a passenger gets ill on board, you have insurance for the doctor on board the ship. If you have to medevac them off the ship to Panama or to wherever, that's covered. And then in the hospital itself, that's covered. That, to me, as a cruise line operator, I'd have peace of mind that all 5,000 of these folks on this ship have coverage. No matter what country we go to, they're protected. I think that's the way it should be. But that's just the utopian, the dreamer talking, maybe. Maybe I'm just dreaming too much. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Any more comments on that? Let's see what's going on here. Let's go through here. Thank you. Got that comment there. Let me move forward here. Art Parker, 58 degrees in Ivor, Virginia, and sunny. Fantastic. Linda Lou, Bonnie, I'm Platinum 2. Tom Henry, Paul Wilgus, yes, Eastern, just outside of Suffolk. MG Toe, Fenwick, it's up to you. Just don't be a putz. You know what I mean. Vivian, oh, cool, Sherry Mines in 10 weeks. Nancy, Nurse Nancy, wow, Sherry, awesome sunsets. That is exciting. Have a great cruise if I don't tell you before then. Debbie Manuel, Bruce, 13,000 subscribers now. Dang, growing so quick. I think it's 13,300, something like that. When I went off the air Saturday, we were at 12,528. When I went on the air now, 13,357, an increase of 829 subscribers in 48 hours. That's pretty fast stuff. I think they're all Bahamians. It's incredible. We'll see. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on here. Sylvia saying, Bonnie, completely understand. I am a solo cabin too. I wouldn't be able to pay double occupancy either. Tracy Dunlop, I see you haven't changed since you've been gone. MG still as negative as ever. Cool Jazz, Bruce, tell the Minister of Tourism to come on your show and defend himself. He can also play trivia. Let's see here. Paul Wilgus likes the Fenwick life. Fantastic. Mark Dirksen, hi, Nurse Nancy. So you're getting lots of tips. Let's see here. Nurse Nancy, yes, Mark Dirksen, I love cruise talk. Vivian, laughing a lot, Sherry. I've been packed since June for my trip. Oliver Spicer, Olympics next year, going at Japan, looking at Japan cruises. Anyone? Oliver, welcome to the show. Yeah, the thing about Japan, they've brought in a couple of cruise ships to park, to dock them in Tokyo for the entire Olympics because of a shortage of hotel rooms. they've got big problems there. Well, wonderful problems. Tokyo, as busy as it is, always. Now you're bringing in all these international tourists, and you need more places to sleep them. Cruise ships, they're brought in, I think, at least 2, maybe 3. So that's thousands of rooms to be run there. But to take a cruise, I bet you to take a cruise into Japan during the Olympics, mind you, even if you got anywhere near Tokyo, you wouldn't be able to see anything because how many hours you got? 6, 8 hours? What are you going to go? What are you going to catch for? Are you going to get a ticket to one event for the Summer Olympics? You're going to get there by train, see something, get a train, get back. Pretty hectic and stressful, I would think, to do it all. But, it is what it is. Debbie saying, hi, Sherry. Sebastian, it's high 17. What? Where I live in New York City, saying 17. It's blowing, or is it cold in New York? I'm not sure what it means. Sherry, you want to come help me, Vivian Clark Nicholson? Nope. She says, Dwayne. Okay, I'm out. I'm out. That's 30 minutes. I'll never be back. I'll never get back. Thank you, Dwayne. Hey, have a great day today. Bonnie, I always get travel insurance for plane travel and cruise travel. So, Tweet, there's a difference between doing something because it's smart and doing something because it's mandatory. Paul Lucas, I agree with the countries requiring insurance. Why get stuck with all the bills from people not from their countries? Tom Henry, Art Parker, it's really lucky he lives near the Virginia Diner. Woohoo, good food there, Heart of Peanut Land. MG, enough's enough. All these foreign countries charging Americans thousands of dollars while their own people get free health care. Oliver, one of our biggest claims can be on those that pass away and need to be repatriated. Very difficult to recover funds in that situation. There you go. Bonnie, Paul Lucas, smart for the traveler too. Hospitals in the Caribbean and Mexico want cash up front to treat tourists. MG Ato, I just don't go to these countries. I won't provide it. Vivian, I don't understand American health system. It's so stupidly expensive. Paul, MG, why shouldn't they charge Americans in other countries? We don't pay tax in those countries for free healthcare. Mark, I think I'm sick though. I'm so addicted to cruising now. I got the Royal Caribbean Jewel in a week, Celebrity Silhouette at March break, and then Alaska Equinox in July. Yeah, you're addicted, Mark. It's over. You're done. Fantastic. Let's see here. Nurse Nancy, there's lots of hidden fees. They should be more upfront about it. Tom Henry, Mark, welcome to the club. Me too. Nurse Nancy, I'm laughing out loud, Mark. You don't get a vaccination for the sickness. Paul Wilson, Wilgus, Tom Henry, wow, smaller than mine by about 1,200. That is small. Let's see here. Vivian, my friends are my friends on, what is it? My friends on Archie site, desperate for meds and are charged thousands. Nurse Nancy, I know I have booked more than I can get off work. I figured I'll deal with it when the time comes. I'm booking the cruise first, then I'm asking for permission to go. Okay, there you go. Oh, man. MG Toa saying, Paul, as I said, why do Americans have to pay thousands of dollars while people get free health care? They're people. It's a scam these countries are playing on foreigners. Well, or maybe the folks who live in these countries are paying taxes in those countries to help pay for the healthcare that they're getting. Maybe that's what it is. And Chevelle, that's a good idea, Bruce. It should be less expensive for that quantity. I agree. You got a cruise ship of 5,000 people, and you're moving out of Miami. You're moving 50,000 people a day in and out of there on travels to the Caribbean. There you've got Port Canaveral and you've got Fort Lauderdale. How many? What are you talking about? 100,000 people a day are going on a cruise. If 100,000 people a day are buying health insurance, medical travel insurance on a volume buy through the cruise lines, don't you think the cruise lines would be going to bat for you? This is how I do it. If I were the chairman of Royal Caribbean, I'd be bragging to my clientele, to my travelers, my customers. I'd be bragging to them that your cruise covers you for unexpected medical expenses, including evacuation from the ship itself by helicopter, the ambulance cost, your hospital cost, hotel for your family, meals, return ticket home, everything. It's included in your fare. And I would be bragging to my travelers, my customers, that we at Royal Caribbean have negotiated a deal through this company or this company or this company, and we follow up with them to make sure they offer that service, not that they promise it and don't deliver. They do deliver, or we switch, because we can get you insurance at such a cheap rate because of the millions of passengers a year that we look after on our cruise lines. We can get that insurance for such a cheap price for you guys that we're happy to do it, because for the cruise line, I think it'd be a peace of mind for them. How many times do we read every week about a 70-year-old being medevaced off a cruise ship with a heart condition, or an 80-year-old passenger fell down and hit their head and had to be left behind at the port in such and such, or the 22-year-old college kid that had an appendicitis attack out of nowhere. I mean, we're hearing every conceivable medical nightmare story, and nothing's being done about it. I think it should just be included. If I were the cruise line, I would be working with the other cruise lines to band together and say, guys, why don't we do this? This just makes sense for the business. It just makes sense. But what do I know? I'm just encrusted. I must be paid off by the insurance companies to not make the cruise lines do this, so that everyone pays maximum dollars on their own and gets hosed. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe that's what I'm a shill for the insurance business, because I couldn't possibly be thinking of the benefit of the traveler, could I? Oh no, gosh no. Nurse Nancy, you're a bit of a dreamer, Bruce, but that's okay. There you go, right there. Oh my gosh, Linda Lou, I guess we're all addicts, Mark. So Tweety, how is it a scam? He wants to know. Mark Dirksen, while on the Jewel, I've been thinking to do onboard reservation for Oasis next March. Ooh, that'd be a nice cruise. True, Janie Sue, I would wonder how much more the price of a cruise would be, and would it need to be higher for passengers with health ailments or age? True, Janie Sue, you can get travel insurance without pre-existing condition issues, can be had easily. And if the cruise line is buying on one ship, they're buying 5,000 policies on one trip for a week. 5,000 policies, they're going to get a deal. They're going to get a deal, and you divide that by the 5,000 individual fares, you can't buy at that price. There's no way. You're one person versus 5,000. You're not getting the deal that the cruise line's going to get. That's why I think it would work. I think. Glenn Edinburgh, I take out full insurance when I cruise. Just the cruise ship medical is out of this world expensive. Little known hospitals in other countries, let alone other countries. And Bonnie, Bruce, you rule YouTube. So Tweety, I heard they stopped selling travel insurance for people over 80, so they just wouldn't be able to cruise. I bet you the cruise line can get a deal. I still maintain they can get it. They've got the power to get it. Just my personal take. MG, to sum it all up, folks, believe what Bruce said. These Caribbean Islands are unsafe, and Mexico as well. Stay on board these ships. You don't have to stay on board the ships. You don't have to, but if your cruise line is taking you to Kingston, Jamaica for an outing, you might want to stay on board the cruise ship, but I defy you to find a cruise line that'll take you to Kingston, Jamaica. You're not going to be taken there. Port-au-Prince, Haiti, you're not going there. You're going to Labadee, Haiti. Yeah, you're fine. You'll be fine. Mexico, up to you. If you're getting off the ship in Mexico, say in Mazatlan, and I've been getting messages from the wonderful volunteers in Mazatlan. They are such a great crowd. I have had several visits to Mazatlan. I've loved them all, and have had a wonderful time, not through a cruise tour, on my own with my missus and or friends, and have had a wonderful time each and every time. Theoretically, I guess, had we gone down the wrong road, we could have run into trouble. But Mazatlan has been quite safe for us. But, if you're going to Puerto Vallarta and you want to get on a tour with the cruise line, I think you're going to be just fine. I really do. I think the Mexican government's going to ensure that there won't be any issues. But you are taking a cab into Puerto Vallarta, and then you're getting out and walking around for a while, and you're getting into neighborhoods that just don't look too good. You're asking for it, and I have no mercy for you. I have no sympathy for you if you're going into a sketchy neighborhood. What are you thinking? You got to be out of your mind. So common sense is what it's all about. I think that's just me. What can I say? Let's see here. What's going on here? Mark Dirksen, I prefer to stay on the ship. Fantastic. Oliver, wasn't planning on catching the 100 meter and then heading back to the ship in Japan. Yeah, Oliver, I didn't think you were. Yeah, Oliver, I think you know, if you're going to take a cruise to Japan while the Olympics are on, and if you get a day in Tokyo, I mean, personally for me, if that was me, I would love to go to Tokyo for a day when the Summer Olympics are happening in that town, just to see the atmosphere of the city. That's what would be for me. I'd love to see all the advertising going on, all of the flags flying, all the other tourists in town. I'd just like to be part of the experience. But personally, if I really wanted to take in the Olympics, of course, I'd fly over there and you know, do whatever. But for a cruise, yeah, pretty tough to catch the 100 meters and get back on your ship. I guess if you have enough money, though, it can be done. I mean, if you've got the kind of cash that you need to drop to pull that off, you could do it. It might require your own helicopter to and from the ship and to the. I'm just saying, money can make it work if you've got enough of it. But yeah, it's not in my wheelhouse either. Dwayne, okay, I'm here. I saw the bat signal. Matthew, I'm going on Princess Cruise, the Star, for 10 days to Alaska from LA in the first couple of weeks in May. Is Alaska fun at that time? Matthew, May, first couple of weeks in May. It's going to be cool. Won't be hot. Never is. I mean, it's never hot in Alaska. It'll be cooler, but it'll be beautiful. You're going to see the spring colors and you know, everything coming out, I mean, just exploding. You'll probably still see a lot of the runoff from winter. So it doesn't matter if you go in May or July or October. It's spectacular. It really is something. Now, you could run into rainy weather. Sure, anytime in Alaska, you could run into rainy weather. So you might have all the best hopes and dreams and intentions. You get to the place where you're going to look at the glaciers calving, and you can't see them because it's fogged in. Hey, it happens. But I think you're going to enjoy the cruise nonetheless. I'm sure you'll be fine. MG Toe says he hears that the athletes are boycotting the Tokyo because it's glowing. Fukushima and all that. Oh my. Let's see here. Tom Henry, Mark, I have a cruise with Paul in 20 days. Then I have a cruise with my wife in 54, 291, and 390 days. Yeah, Paul. Tom Henry is booked to go, Mark. He is booked. So Tweety, yes, Matthew, you will have a blast. It was beautiful there last May. See, there you go, buddy. Let's see here. Bonnie, Alaska's great in May. Chad Clark, the cruise lines are going to charge an arm and a leg for it. Just luck they did for displaced people during Hurricane Katrina. I don't think so, Clark. I tell you right now, Chad, if all the cruise lines were mandated by U.S. law, like if the Congress and the government of the United States said that you can't operate a cruise line internationally out of the States unless you have coverage for everybody, these cruise lines now would be motivated to get the cheapest deal with the best coverage, because of course there'll be minimums that you must provide. Now would be a competition. It would be a competition between cruise lines to get the best deal for their clients. Personally, if I were, like I said, if I ran the cruise line, I would take it upon our own cruise line to brag about it to our clients. Even if the other cruise lines didn't do it, I would be saying to the folks out there, yeah, here I am with Royal Caribbean. You can take a 7-day cruise with us for $649 for a balcony cabin. And it includes all of these features and all of these add-ons, including full medical travel insurance on your trip. And I'd be bragging about the coverage. And that's when the people who see that advertisement, they talk to Norwegian and say, well, how much is it a 1-week cruise on your cruise line? And what's your medical coverage like? And they go, oh, we don't have any. Click, they'll hang up and go back to Royal Caribbean. Price is irrelevant. You're just offering peace of mind. I think it's a winner. It's a marketing winner, but it's going to take guts. One of the cruise lines has got to have it to stand up and say, that's it. We're going to cover all of our passengers because enough's enough. This is ridiculous. Our passengers are being held ransom in foreign countries when they get ill, whether it's a sprained ankle or a broken arm or a high blood pressure. They're being held for ransom. We can alleviate that concern before the cruise even starts and use it as a positive marketing feature. That's how I would take it. Glass half full, not half empty. But that's just me. Let's see here. ARTY, rheumatoid arthritis. Thank you, Vivian. I have no idea what this stuff means. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's see here. Bonnie, Matthew, I'm going May 1st on the Island Princess. Have been to Alaska in May a few times. I love it. Healthcare is a total, you know what, show in America. I don't see any business waiting to get tangled in the process. Why would they take on that burden? She'll tweet. I think I just covered that. Paul Wilgus, MG, you don't think America doesn't do the same? Look at what we charge our own people. Exactly. Americans are hosed. Americans pay the most money in the world for healthcare, and they shouldn't have to. There is 350 million Americans. The buying power of 350 million Americans would be incredible. Problem is, the healthcare companies are experts at dividing everybody up into small little slivers and then nailing them on an individual price. Why is it that the chairman of the presidents and top guns of these healthcare providers all travel in private jets? Why? Have you ever thought of that? Who pays for that? That's interesting, because we don't have that in Canada. That the top health providing entities, they don't have private jets in this country. They fly commercial. They don't have private jets. But in the United States, they do. Oh, it's a good business. And there are dozens of them. Oh, the private jet business is doing very well. Thank you very much. Anyway, that's just me. What do I know? Bonnie Merkson still tweeting, I'm going broke paying for medications on a Medicare Advantage plan. Paul Wilgus, laugh out loud, Tom, troublemaker. Vivian, Bonnie, sorry to hear that. Paul Wilgus, Bonnie, I know the feeling. Bonnie, Big Pharma is darn near killing me, and so is Blue Cross. Yeah. So Tootie, I'm sorry to hear that, Bonnie. It's a shame that can happen. Bonnie, Paul Wilgus, it's sad. Vivian, here in the UK, I don't pay for a doctor or for my meds. Don't pay for a doctor or my meds in the UK. The national plan. There you go. You got 70 million people paying into it. It's cheaper that way. You got one customer. I'm just trying to do this on cruise ships. Bonnie, so Tweety, one of my meds has a $2,000 copay. That is ridiculous. MGTO, don't get off the ships and fall prey to fake alcohol, pickpockets, thieves, and others. It's not safe. So Tweety, oh God, MG. Here you go. Paul Wilgus, Bonnie Bergstein. The U.S. is the only country that allows pharmacy companies to charge what they want. Dwayne, that's a terrible idea, MG. Tom Henry, not to mention bad hookers, laughing out loud. Ed Tolson, in the U.S., I am blessed with being able to use the Veterans Hospital, but outside, I will need insurance. That's right, Ed. Thank God the government takes care of you. But you know that, for some Americans, that's called socialism. Did you know that? But you're a veteran, and you deserve it. Thank you for your service. But, everyone should be covered, I would say. MG, never mind. Paul Wilgus laughing out loud. Glenn laughing out loud. Who else is here? Lunai. I think all cruises I've been on either had to make an extra stop to drop off medical patients or had someone pick them up. It's epidemic. It used to be that you had a cruise ship with 1,500 passengers. Now you have cruise ships with 5,000, 6,000 passengers. What are the odds of 6,000 passengers that one person in a 7-day stretch is going to need serious medical attention? They're high. You're talking about a town. Do you tell me a town or a city in the US or Canada or Europe, anywhere, of 6,000 people that doesn't have a hospital, that doesn't have a funeral home? 6,000 people on a cruise ship for a week. Someone's going to need something. And whoever that unlucky person is might be in a world of financial hurt because of it. It's a sad story. It's a lottery you don't want to win. It really is. It's really bad. Let's see here. Let's go through here. I gotta get up to some real comments here. So Tweety, on my Panama Canal cruise, it only took 1 hour from our sail away before we had a medical evacuation. There you go. It's ridiculous. It's not like you have to have physicals to get on cruise ships. It's not like that. But I'm telling you, if I were a cruise line operator, I would take the initiative on this entire debacle, because it's going to get worse going forward. The ships are getting bigger. The Mardi Gras is coming out with 6,000 passengers. The folks at MSC are building 6,000+ passenger ships. Royal Caribbean is going to bring out another Oasis class ship of 6,500 people. They're coming, folks, and these medical emergencies will just keep happening. And it's just not good. It's just not good. You got to be covered. Mark Dirksen, my wife was offered special brownies in a Jamaica store. She passed on those. Yeah, good plan. Chad, the medical expense for someone who breaks their leg or something like that is that expense that insurance costs could easily be pennies on the dollar. You're correct, Chad. You're correct. If someone, broke their leg in the USA and went to a hospital, you had a national plan, it would be pennies on what they're paying now. It's unbelievable. Let's see here. What's going on here. Dave Schooler, good afternoon, Bruce. Hi, David. How are you? Dwayne, never mind. Tom Henry. So, Trudy, we had an evacuation right in one of the locks on the canal on my 2012 cruise, says Tom Henry. They adjusted the water level to get the ship's door opening to match the land for the ambulance to back up. That costs a fortune to do that. Unbelievable. Crazy. So, Trudy, oh, wow, Tom Henry. Nurse Nancy, bye, gotta run. God bless all. Thank you, Nurse Nancy. Vivian, bye, Nancy. It's our Fenwick Life, Tom Henry. Wow, on the canal story. So, Tweety, aren't current regulations the reason that cruise lines don't use American ports as their home base? They don't have to obey our laws. So, Tweety, cruise lines can use Miami as a home port, but they have to operate every cruise internationally out of the USA. So they got to stop in a non-US country for at least one of the ports for their cruise when they come before they come back. In Los Angeles, San Diego, they'll home port there, and they'll make sure to stop in Ensenada or in Cabo. That's an international country. Cruises that go from LA or Frisco to Hawaii and back, they stop in Ensenada for one day on the way back. They maintain their international status that way to adhere to the Jones Act, and that way they can keep their staff international and not have to hire American workers only. The cruise ship in Hawaii, the Norwegian cruise ship that's there full time, it has an American crew. Take a look at the cost of a 1 week cruise on that ship versus a 1 week cruise, say from LA to Mexico and back. It's shocking. It's practically double. It's practically double the price. There's only one ship in Hawaii that looks after Miami clients because passengers can't afford it. Americans look at the price and go, hey, I love Hawaii, but I can take a cruise into Mexico or from Florida to the Caribbean for $5.99 a week instead of $1,500. Why would I do this thing in Hawaii? Forget about it. And that's the story. There's only one ship in Hawaii that Norwegian runs. They tried three about 4 years ago. No. Three about 10 years ago. 10, 11 years ago, they tried three of them. Two of them they pulled within a year. Right the heck out of there. They were bleeding money. Bleeding it. Just a nightmare. Anyway, there you go. Tom Henry, seems like there's a medical problem on every cruise. Number one in 2012. Oops, the earlier post should be 2014, but 2012, we had a Coast Guard chopper hover over Cagney's the first sea day. Dwayne, exactly right. So Tweety, Bonnie, MG Toe saw the giant redwoods in California. Can't compete with the glaciers in California. Let's go through here. Any more comments? Jermaine Woods. Hey, Bruce. Jermaine from London here. I'm going on the Anthem of the Seas in March, and I was wondering if you knew how the sea passes work, as I hear you don't get it until you go to your cabin. You're talking about your room card, that type of thing. Apparently, it works very well. It works extremely well. They're very organized at the terminal when you check in. It'll be just slick as can be. You'll be given instructions as to what to do. You'll get to your room. Everything will be waiting for you there. You'll be fine. Jeremy, you're going to love it. Absolutely love it. Let's see here. Any more comments here that I need to get to? James Wheeler, who's best for an Alaskan cruise? Who's best? David, it depends on what cruise line you like to be on. If you want action, you want to be on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Lots of things to do on the ship. You want peace and quiet? Holland America. Adult type style, same as Celebrity. Very relaxed. Something in the middle, Princess. You want a little more family-oriented? Carnival. Disney. For all the reasons Disney is popular. So it depends on the cruise line. It's the same decision you'd make if you were taking a Caribbean cruise. The cruise line for, what your circumstances are. Are you a solo traveler? Are you a couple? Family? How old is everybody? How active is everybody? That'll tell you what to do. Let's see here. Dwayne, kind of difficult for a cruise ship to go to Banff National Park to see the ice fields. I agree with that. Let's see here. Jermaine, thank you for all the help. Much appreciated. You're most welcome. Big Sausage, Bruce 2020. Hi, Big Sausage. Let's see here. There you go. MG Toe, keep up the good work, Bruce, and tell these cruise lines and islands where to go. Cruisers are sick and tired of being taken advantage of by these ships and ports. Trust no one. See you later. Thank you, thank you, MG Toe. I appreciate it. Right now we're at what are we at now? 6:02 Eastern. Fantastic. Bonnie, All America or Princess, their preferred docking privileges, and they go to Glacier Bay. Pride of America goes to Hawaii. Thank you, Bonnie, so much. Jermaine Woods, thanks, Bruce. I can't wait for my 4th cruise. Chad Clark, speaking of the Mardi Gras, the newest carnival ship. There's way, what? I just can't see people on having a. Chad's not too sure about the roller coaster. Yeah, we'll find out all about this thing. That's a roller coaster where you set the speed. It's a slow, medium, or high. You can take it whatever speed you want. We'll see how that works out. That should be fun. I don't know. I was going to say talk about one more thing today, and that was the Cayman Islands. Since we're talking about the Caribbean, we're talking about ports and all of that. I saw a story today about the Cayman Islands. I used to live there, and I can relate to this firsthand. They have a debate. They got a problem that a lot of ports and countries wish they had. This true. Cayman's has a reverse problem. The problem the Cayman Islands have with cruise ships, too many cruise ships want to come to the Cayman Islands with passengers. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, the government of the Cayman Islands, it doesn't matter which one's in power because they shift almost every election. Whoever runs the Cayman Islands, these guys get brainwashed into thinking that they need the cruise lines more than the cruise lines need them. It just astounds me because I'm an outsider. I have the advantage of being way out here, having once lived there, and now being here and looking back. And they think they need the cruise lines when it's the other way around. The cruise lines desperately need the Cayman Islands because the Cayman Islands is one of those places where you can bring a ship of 5,000 people, whatever the number is, and let them go on shore and have a great old time and not worry about them actually getting into trouble. Why? Because the standard of living in the Cayman Islands is higher than that of the United States. It's higher than Switzerland. The folks in the Caymans, if you have a job in the Cayman Islands as a foreigner, as an expatriate, you're making good money, first of all, number one. Number two, if you're a Caymanian, if you have status as a Caymanian national, you get first dibs on all jobs. That's the way it is. They don't allow a foreigner to steal your job. As a matter of fact, if you can prove to the government that you qualify for a certain job that a foreigner has, the government will put pressure on that company to get rid of the foreigner and hire the local because locals get priority. Caymanians are wonderful people. The country's a beautiful place. But for whatever reason, the government of the Cayman Islands is sucked in all the time by thinking that they need the cruise lines. Here's the reality of the Cayman Islands. Last year, people that flew into the Cayman Islands and rented a hotel room on the beach, let's say for a weekend or a week or 2 weeks, or they were in a timeshare or their own condo that they purchased, these people contributed $600 million to the economy of the Cayman Islands, 600 American. Cruise ship passengers, 2+ million of them contributed 199 million. It's not even close. The number of people that fly in and spend a week or whatever amount of time is a fraction of the 2 million. It's a fraction. These folks rent cars. These folks go to restaurants for breakfast, lunch, and dinner unless they have their own kitchen. If they have their own kitchen, they go to the grocery store and they buy food there, and they go to restaurants as well as cook food in their own place. These folks see entertainment in the evening. These folks spend money in local shops. These folks buy gasoline at the gas station. In other words, they become islanders for the week or 2 weeks or whatever time they're there for. They drop serious money on a per day basis. You want to spend a week at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Grand Cayman? There's a Ritz-Carlton in Grand Cayman. You're not getting out of there for under $500 a night. You can't get in there. You're $500 a night. You don't even have a view of the ocean. You're looking at $6,000, $8,000, $1,000 a night and you better book well in advance, maybe a year or two, to get a room, because there's a waiting list to get in. Same with all the others, the Hyatt, the Westin, they're all there. The Marriotts, they're all there, and they're all busy. Cruise ship passengers, wonderful people that we are, we have a 6-hour, 8-hour window. That's it. We have breakfast on the ship before we get off the ship. We tender to the island, get on the bus, get taken up to a little boat in one of the harbors, chug our way out to Stingray City, jump in the 4 feet of water and see the stingrays swimming around us, take our selfies, get back on the boat, go a little further, go a little snorkeling a little while for an hour over here, and then we chug back to the harbor, get dropped off, either get on another bus to another tour, or we get on the bus back to the ship, get in line, get on a tender, back to the cruise. All we did was give the ship operator some dough, the bus operator got some dough, and the tour operator made a profit on the whole thing. That's it. We didn't support any other local businesses on the island, and that's just the way it is. And that, what do you expect from a cruise ship passenger? Why would we go to a grocery store and buy groceries? We don't need groceries. We're having lunch and dinner on the ship. So the Cayman Islands is really not in need of more cruise ship passengers. They're right now in a major national debate about building out a massive man-made dock that will handle Oasis-class cruise ships. We're talking maybe 4 of these, 2 from Royal Caribbean, 1 from Norwegian, 1 from Carnival. We're talking about right now, the island is being visited by 4 to 7 cruise ships per day. The island is talking, the government is talking about building a pier, a dock that can handle that many ships at a pier, because they think that if they can dock here, it'll be easier for people to come and go because they just have to walk on, walk off. The opposition member of parliament, one of them is saying, you know, right now, if you take a tender and get off the tender, you're walking 300 to 400 feet in distance from where you get dropped off from the tender to where your bus is for these tours. You build this massive pier, we're talking about this dock, we're talking about this, it's a monstrosity. It's just going to completely change the look of Georgetown, really, I don't think for the better. They're going to have to walk 16 to 1,800 feet in distance to get to the same bus, because there's no transportation out onto the pier. If you've seen photos of Cozumel, where the cruise ships dock, they're beside each other. And there's that long pier you got to walk all the way down to get to the end of the thing where Cozumel is. You're talking about 60, 70, and 80-year-old tourists walking 16 to 1,800 feet in 80 to 90 degree temperatures at 90 degrees humidity. Are you out of your mind? It's not going to happen. I can't do it. Are you going to have a whole bunch of these guys running these little bicycles with 2 people at a time in these things for 5,000 to 6,000 passengers per ship? There's 4 of them. Are you kidding me? You're not. It's not going to be done. It's logistically next to impossible. It's actually, stupid as it sounds, it's actually more efficient to have all these tenders coming and going. Just increase the number of tender points, make 5 or 6 of them, so you can have each ship bringing in tenders and out at the same time at 300 passengers per tender or 200 per tender. That might be a better way to go. In any event, this is a national debate in the Cayman Islands. I bet you that if you took a vote, and the government won't do it, if they had a plebiscite, the citizens would say no way, because they're sick and tired, as we were when I was there in 1998 to 2000. This is 20 years ago. We were pissed off back then with how many cruise ships were already coming, and those held 2,000 to 2,500 passengers each back then. At that time, there were 10, 12,000 passengers a day coming off cruise ships. Today, 15 to 20,000 a day hitting the island. The traffic jam in downtown Cayman is a nightmare. Twice a day. In the morning, rush hour. In the afternoon, rush hour. It's the worst time. So everybody who works there, they work where? Downtown in the office buildings. Or you work in part of the island, you got to go through downtown to get to it. It's an absolute nightmare. The wear and tear on the island is a disgrace. It's a sad story. People are loving the Cayman Islands to death. That is the problem with the island. The island is being loved to death by people who love to go there. I read all the time people who write to me saying, "Oh man, a dream cruise for me in the Caribbean. I'd love to go to the Cayman Islands." Yeah, I know why you'd love to go to the Cayman Islands. It's beautiful. It really is nice. It cannot handle 2 million passengers a year. With this dock they're talking about, they want to go to 3 million passengers a year. Would you like to be a tourist paying 700, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 a week, depending on how much you gamble in the casino, especially dining, how much you drink? You want to pay $4,000 a couple, $8,000 a couple for a 1-week cruise, and one of your days is the Cayman Islands, only to find there are 30,000 others of you enjoying the serenity of the Cayman Islands for a day? There's no serenity. No serenity now. There's only a nightmare waiting for you. I don't know why the island is even thinking about it. What they should really do is they should triple the fee for every passenger coming to visit the island. Charge them $30 a head from 10. Jack it up and restrict the number of cruise ships by half. Have a daily head count no more than 10,000 a day. You'd make just as much money because you're charging a premium. You'd have 1/2 the traffic, if that. You'd have fewer cruise ships, and the island will ecologically be better off. The citizens will be richer because they'll get more money from fewer passengers, and the government will have just as much income, actually have less expense, because right now it costs the government of the Caymans a fortune to handle 2 million people a year. It's going to cost them even more money to handle 3 million people a year. How many people out of the 3 million will end up in the hospital because they had a jellyfish bite them, or they slipped and twisted their ankle downtown, or whatever? Someone had a high blood pressure and went to the hospital. You bring that down to 1 million people a year, you're going to have your hospital visits go way down. Traffic is going to be way down, way more under control, fewer cops, fewer security people. Your immigration department will have a lot less stress on it. You'll actually make more money. But for whatever reason, the Cayman Islands cannot get it through their heads that they are the ones in charge. They actually have the golden goose. They are the golden goose of the Caribbean, and they could run it that way. But I don't understand it. They're going for a Walmart game, Walmart volume instead of Tiffany's, and they could be the Tiffany's of the Caribbean. So anyway, that's just my take on that whole thing. Having lived there and seen it and witnessed it, this is a debate that's been going on well before I ever got there. This started back in the 70s and the 80s, and now here we go. And the environmentalists are up in arms going, are you out of your mind? Putting in this massive concrete machine, this massive concrete structure, this dock, to handle Oasis-class ships. You know how much of our Cayman Island reef you have to destroy? Thousands of acres has to be destroyed to put this in here. And now we have these ships sitting there pushing the smoke up into the air to keep them powered up, because there's no onshore electricity available in the Cayman Islands. They don't have a nuclear power plant to provide enough energy, electricity, to keep 5 or 6 or 7 cruise ships plugged in at the pier. There's no way. They have to keep their engines running, and the smoke just billows up into the sky all day long while the passengers are frolicking around the island. The environmentalists are just up in arms about it, but they're not the politicians. There's the problem. Don't know if there's bribes going on or not. People say there isn't, but boy, these cruise lines keep coming back and they get what they want. They just keep getting what they want. It's amazing to me. Anyway, that's just me. Old man ranting and raving. What can I say? Maybe I just don't care about people. I'm a plant for the cruise business. That's what I am. I'm a plant. That's what I am. Okay. All right. Any last comments before we go? Let's see here. Double check here. I'm just catching up with everybody here. Didn't want to overshoot of all of these comments here. There we are. Okay. Linda Lou, I'm getting fat with all those dinners and desserts at Sylvan's house. Yeah. Chad Clark, Cancun is like the Beverly Hills of the Caribbean or something like that. Bonnie, Tom Henry, no water slides for me, no go-karts, no rope courses, no zip line. True Janie Sue, y'all making me hungry. Paul Wilgus, Bonnie, 20-minute drive isn't anything to get for what Sylvan has for dinner. It's worth it. Sylvan, long monstrosity docks. Think of Costa Maya and Harvest Key. Quite the schlep. Bonnie Bergstein, Linda Lou, yum, smells delicious. Bonnie Bergstein, Paul Lucas. I wouldn't even be afraid of Lucy. Paul Lucas, Sylvan, the Costa Maya dock is ridiculously long. Paul Lucas laughing out loud. Bonnie Vivian, oh well, 11:15. Good night all. Stay safe. She's going to bed. Thank you, Vivian. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be by for both shows. We'll have trivia tomorrow night after my regular show. Let's see here. Paul Lucas, Bonnie, I love all those things, but not sure if I would pay $10 for the go-kart. Timothy, Roy, Madonna, Taylor, first time watching for live blog from your video. Love your videos. Thank you, Timothy, Rory, Madonna, Taylor. I'm glad you are here. Thank you for joining me. Sherry, awesome sunsets. We didn't even get to stop at Grand Cayman because the water was too choppy for the tender boats. So the locals may not like it, but they need to do something or the ships won't go there. Theoretically, that's true, Sherry. There's a couple of days a year where it's just too choppy. They can go to the south side of the island and try it there, but they don't all do that. Let's see here. Chad, I've never seen it because I didn't pay attention last time. This time, I'm going to be a spectator to the pier runners. Bruce, Bonnie, Bruce, Alaska Tourism wants more cruise ship passengers visiting those small towns, now using floating docks. I think Alaska's got the same problem as Cayman. People are loving Alaska to death. I'm surprised at the numbers of Alaska, and they keep adding more ships. Linda Lou, Bonnie, do go-karts. They do cost extra. $10, she says. Damon Gibson, wow, Ritz-Carlton at the Cayman Islands. Yeah, Damon. Yeah, they blew out the old Holiday Inn, the much loved original Holiday Inn on 7 Mile Beach was there for 40 years. I bet you a third of all Caymanians got married at the beach at the Holiday Inn, or at least had their reception at the Holiday Inn on 7 Mile Beach through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And then Ritz-Carlton came to town, bought that up, bulldozed it, and put in this super mega high-end resort at top dollar. And I don't know how many Caymanians can afford to have a reception at the Ritz-Carlton. It's not the same. But the old Holiday Inn is gone, and it was it was legendary. It was just a wonderful family place. Gone. But there are very well-to-do families hanging out at the Ritz-Carlton and at the Westin and at the Marriott and all the others. They're loving it. What can I tell you? But they're paying top dollar. Linda Lou, wow, Paul Williams, Bonnie, Linda Lou, yes. Ryan Price, is it true that these ships fish over 5,000 crabs per 35 minutes, killing all the fish and giving people food poisoning and killing us white people? Ryan, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're totally on another subject, another planet. I have no idea where this is coming from. Glenn, see you tomorrow, Bruce. Have a good one. Paul Lucas, later, Glenn. Tom Henry, bye, everybody. Mr. Darkhawk, howdy, Bruce. What's shaking? Caught you late, but in time to give you a thumbs up. How many did I get? 49. I got 49. Lewis Piper, nice trim. Chad Clark, Princess Cruise Line for that person. True Janie, can't wait for trivia tomorrow. Bonnie Bergstein, good night. I'll have to walk. Bubba and Princess, have a great night. Folks, I'm on tomorrow twice at 5 o'clock Eastern and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, live trivia. I'd love to have you join me. Thank you for joining me today. In the meantime, thank you for all your comments. Thank you for participating in the show. Thank you for tolerating this old guy and his rants. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing my videos. I appreciate everything. 829 new subscribers in 48 hours. Unbelievable. Never thought that would happen this soon in this channel's lifetime. We are still 8 days away from being 18 months old, and we are growing so fast. It is just incredible. It's humbling. It's exciting. And you just make me want to work harder, and will continue to do so. I want everyone to have a pleasant evening. Please be safe. Stay warm. Stay healthy. Join me tomorrow on February the 5th for my next live show at 5 o'clock. In the meantime, have a pleasant evening, everybody. See you tomorrow. Take care, and goodbye.